Okay. I'm sorry. Hey, it's MK. I have quite the bit of giggles. This has been a great day. It's all been overcast, so I've been able to record like all day, so I'm super, super excited. Now this is the fourth layout in this workshop by Kelly Fitzgerald that I'm doing. Now as you can see, mine looks, that's hers. This is the way she has presented hers. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. Gotta look at that. Now this is how I laid mine out. I didn't exactly like the, for one, I didn't like the triangles, like, at all. I keep saying like. Stop doing that. I didn't like the triangles. So that was the first thing that I just decided not to put on the layout. I put them there for like, I don't know, 35 seconds, and then they were gone. And then everything else was already cut out and ready to go. So I thought that I would go ahead and pull out all the little bits that she used. I didn't pull out, you guys, that little deer. I didn't pull that one out. And this, as you can see, it's one piece. It says handsome guy. Well, she used it here and here. And then I didn't like this, like their wings. I don't know. They look like a biker club. And then she also has the bike right here. So I'm not going to use that at all. I don't know if I'll use this little sticker up here or not. I haven't quite made up my mind just yet. You know, if I'm going to use all the elements right now. I like the way that they are. Clearly they're not in the exact same spots as hers, because neither are my little, what are they called? Hexagons? Yes, hexagons. And so I have decided that this is how I'm going to put it. And actually, I've already picked out my photos. Now, this is a camping trip that we did, and back in the day, we used to have a fireplace in our home. And so we used to go and cut our own wood. We would camp out. And this is my husband, and we brought along some friends, and they helped out tremendously. I mean, they don't have a fireplace, but they just were more than eager to, well, not eager, eager's not not the right word, but they're just really super great friends to want to go outdoors with. So I have got quite a few scrapbooks of them outdoors with us. And so, anywho, this is how I decided to do it. Now, clearly these little bits right here were made for the photos. And that was how many photos, this right here was how many photos were supposed to be on the layout. So that's 7 photos, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't count. So 8 photos. I put them in. For one, I really like how they look. I like the blank space. I just like it. And for two, I just kind of sort of wanted to use up what I had. Now I do have a few bits left over. I thought that this was too much red. I thought that if I put this over here, then it was too close to that map one, and I like all the gaps. I love having it like not quite hexagon. And I did also too use a different background. So this is just a small little grid background paper that I chose to put it on instead of just the white cardstock. I thought it filled in the little gaps quite a bit because I wasn't doing like her tiered design. And so this is how it is going to look. I did also pull out this gray from my stash. It's supposed to be light on one side and dark on the other. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Yeah, kind of. I'm not really... Clearly, you can tell I have no idea what I'm talking about. I just know I'm super excited about this layout, and I have the giggles for some reason. And I don't know why. But I'm going to use the gray as my background. I think I'm thinking about using the lighter one as my background because of all the color in the hexagons. I decided that that's what I was going to do, and it pulls out the gray in the matte paper. So that's what my plan is. But I also want to take all of these white pieces, and this is the same color, it's pewter, as the cardstock. And I was thinking about taking all of these white pieces and inking the edges before gluing them down, which is something that I wanted to do with the hexagons, but I already glued those down because I got tired of remembering where they were supposed to go. So I did that before I turned the camera on, which I'm glad I did, but I wanted to show you guys how my layout turned, even though this was the intended layout right here. So anyways, again, just another make it work for you type of a layout. All right, I will get to matting my photos because that is the most boringest thing on the world. I'll mat my photos and then I will put you on fast forward and you can see how this layout comes out. All right, see you soon. All right, so I have inked all of my edges, put the photo mats behind the pictures, and now and it's weird. So I was rewatching this just to make sure that there wasn't any boring glue that you needed to not see. And basically I already had the layout set up the way I wanted it. So it's not going to change very much at all, except for, things are going to be straight, which is weird. I do try to cut out where I cut off all the little nubbins from the craft pieces, and also to the word cool. That one's had a ton of little nubbins on it. I completely cut that out. There was no way I could I could even watch myself do it. It was terrible. I do have some good news. That I received a kit, or I purchased another kit from Close to My Heart, and I'm pretty impressed that there's not as many nubbins on there for when you take it out of the carrier sheet. What I'm talking about is when you pop a piece, whether it's chipboard, craft element, or straight up from a piece of cardstock, when they have it all pre-cut for you and you just have to punch it out of the packaging, the things that the little nubbins that hold it into the packaging are ridiculous. I mean, there was one package that had a nubbin every, eighth of an inch. It was terrible. I just wanted to throw it all away, but it was so super cute. So I still put up with it. Oh, it's weird. Anyways, like I said, I am just putting everything back in its place now that I've got my photos. I did trim down that one upper photo. I didn't like how it overlapped. My first thing I was going to do is just have them overlap and be on one photo mat. But instead, I like the gap in between and being able to see the elements underneath. I know it's not a very big gap, but that's just me. I really like stuff like that. I also have these foam squares from Tonic Studios. They came in one of my Tonic kits, and I like a little bit of dimension on these types of layouts. I don't like to have them completely flat, but the flatness is very appealing if you don't like bulky albums, or if you're trying to fit so much within an album. The bulk is, it's great that the option of having them flat is there. Of course, I do have a ton of wood elements that I'm adding to these layouts, and so that also adds to the bulk. Now, this paper that I chose, I can't even remember. I think it's an old Stampin' Up! One, but it's almost like tissue paper. It's graph on one side and then ledger on the other, and it's so super thin. It was like thinner than normal, especially from Stampin' Up. So I chose to just glue it onto the back of white cardstock to just thicken it up. Also, and you'll probably see it in the close-ups, the ledger part of it had really, really dark lines on it, like real thick black lines, and you can kind of see them through because the paper was just so thin. It's almost like that Tim Holtz mixed media tissue paper. It was neat. It was thin, it was neat, but it did definitely need a backer for my scrapbook because it was just super thin. It was not meant to be the back of a scrapbook layout. Just saying. And I'm not a big fan of speech bubbles. Is anyone else out there with me? I'm just not a fan of the speech bubble thing. So when I do have speech bubbles, I always try to tuck them behind so they look like an element, but they're not, like this guy's saying that. I don't know. I've just never been a huge fan of the speech bubbles. Not at all. So that geotag that I'm putting up there, it's actually quite thicker than all the others because I pulled it out of my stash. It was something that did not come in a close to my heart package kit, anything like that. It's an off-brand. I couldn't even tell you where I got it. It was just amongst some of the other wood veneer that I have. And so I threw it on there, but it is really thick. So I was regretting gluing down my chipboard. So anywho, I took out you having to watch me glue down the word cool because, again, I had to cut all those nubbins off. I am deciding whether or not I want to put a sticker on, but I'm happy with it. I like the way that it looks. Here are the close-ups. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I really, really am. I'm still trying to have a go at attaching the links below so you guys can check out all the other films, but it is in a playlist called Workshop if you guys want to go and hit the playlist and check it out. Thanks for watching.